Hey folks, welcome to Leviathan Data Systems. I'm Bill Roberts and I'm going to host you through some Excel basic tasks that you need to know. If you open up Excel, or when you open up Excel, these are some of the items, some of the formats, some of the copy, paste routines that you should really know. And we include this in our basic Excel modules, our learning modules. You can find those over on, let me show you, leviathandata.com. Go to learning modules. And shortly I'm going to have a link to this video on there so you will know and be in the know and be the first ones to know that a video was created before the link was. Okay, we want to end up with a little bit of a spreadsheet here. The design is, it got an employee ID, we've got a name, I'm not going to use last names. We have an hourly rate, we have the hours this person worked, we're going to calculate this, we have the date that they work, we're going to calculate and put in these three complementary columns just to give the reader easier time in focusing on which employees which. So bear in mind, we're not going to send this spreadsheet to people. We're actually going to print it, save it as a PDF, and we're going to email it to them. So they won't have row numbers to click on and highlight all the way across. They're not going to have columns to click on. They're just going to have some data. How do we start? Well, number one, let's select this range of data. We can right click and say copy. We can leave it selected. We can do Control C on our keyboard and copy. As long as we get the ant trail, we're ready to go. Let's go paste this into our finished sheet. I'm going to do Control V. And now we have it. So real quick, let's look at how this data came in. Let's check the format on these cells here. So we right click, we go to Format Cells. We see that this data came in as currency. It also came in with a $sign and 2 decimal places. That's good, that's what we want. Let's check our number field. And sure enough, we have a number. It's a general number, usually an integer. We're going to have 2 decimal places for this one. Pretty sure this came in as a date field, but let's look at it. Yes. I prefer this date. Most people in the business world use this date format. It's known as MMDD for 2 days, YYYY 4 years. Okay, we want to end up with this format up here. So the first thing we're going to do is pop the date out. I'm going to do a Control X. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do a Control V. And now we have a date. Let's check our format. It brought the format with it. We're good. However, before you do anything to this field, let's check the format on it. It took it and returned it to a general format. We're going to want dollars in here. We want currency. So let's go ahead and format it while we're here. We're going to have 2 decimal places. We're going to have the $sign. We're done there. This is going to be a calculated field. If you notice up here, our employee names are in alphabetical order. We've already started working on our data range, but let's put them in alpha order right now. And there's a couple of ways to do this. In Excel 2013, which I'm using, we could highlight this range of cells. We're going to go up to we're on the Home tab, we're going to go up to the menu where it says Filter and Sort. And I'm just going to click A to Z right here. We get a warning. You have adjacent data. Do you want to expand the selection, or do you want to continue with the current selection? Well, if we sort it now, Sarah's going to end up down here somewhere. right at the very end. But her $11.25 pay rate is not going to go with it. So let's cancel this and let's highlight the whole data range. Now let's go back up and sort it. Sure enough, we have Sarah. She came across with her hours, her pay rate, and the date she worked. Same thing for Adam. We're in good shape. We're going to add some companion fields here. Let's do our calculation first. So we want to know what their paycheck's going to be. We're doing this for human resources and for probably billing because these are contract employees, and I'll show you what we're going to do as far as back charging. Believe it or not, I do know people who take and break out the old Microsoft calculator, and they will go through and actually enter and multiply this times this, and then they'll put the value in here. That is not necessary. And you don't want to come in here and do equals 6.5 times 9.5. That gives you the correct answer, but if you copy this down like we want to do, you get some undesirable stuff here. We want to multiply cells times cells. The value in each cell will be multiplied, added, subtracted, whatever mathematical practice you're going to do to it, it will happen just by addressing each cell. You would be surprised how many people don't get this, don't do it. Equal signs means you're fixing to put in a formula, and the formula we're going to put in is we're going to multiply column C, which we don't want to do that. I know better. Hang on. So we're going to go row 25 and column C first. So C 25 times, and you can either enter D25 or you can click it with your mouse, hit enter. We end up with the same formula. Now all we have to do is get a crosshair on this cell, drag it down. We have all of our paycheck. Everyone's pay period has been calculated, and they have a paycheck number, a total. The reason we would like to do some of these fields here is for your reader. Let's just say this spreadsheet was 25 columns wide and 40, 50, 60, 100 rows deep. When it's printed out and bound together and sent to someone as a PDF, they're going to want to see the day that this person worked, which is going to be a Monday. But if the data is extends over into this area, they would like to know they're still looking at Adam. Remember, they're not going to be in a spreadsheet. They're going to be in a printed format. So they won't be able to click a particular row and highlight the data across and trace it. So let's do this here. There's a formula for that, and that is this formula right here. Equals starts a formula. In Excel, the type of formula is usually all capitalized. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up and select our value, which is going to be in column F, and we are going to choose row 25. So we're going to say F25. Look at your prompt down here. You'll see a comma. I'm going to do a comma, and you can look up in the help menu later. I happen to know that I want a 3-character day, and I want the first character capitalized, and then the other two can be lowercase. And close the quotes. That defines our format. Close the parentheses for the formula. Hit enter, and sure enough, it's a Monday. What makes it easy now is we get a crosshair, We drag it down. We have everybody's actual day they worked and the date. This is relatively easy. Some people don't know how to do it. I want to put the employees' names in a column so that whoever's reading this massive spreadsheet, in this case it's not that big, they can still know that they're looking at Adam or they're looking at Anna, whoever. So we're going to go equals, and the employee's name is in column B. We're still on row 25, so we're going to say equals B25. Grab this, bring it down. We have everybody's name. Let's give our reader the benefit of the row. That way, if there's an error, there's a concern, whatever, somebody from Human Resources says on your spreadsheet on row 18, that person really worked 9 hours. You know, we show them working 8, right? Let's look at this. Equals, we're going to type in all capital row. Let's do A25 and close it. We get the crosshair, bring it down. Now then, the readers of our PDF can look at the row, which employees on which row. They can see Wednesday they worked, that was the 17th, and so far, so good. So now let's do back charge, and let's look at this close. They want to mark it up 50%. So we're going to multiply whatever the paycheck was times 1.5. And that 0.5 will cover some overhead, maybe cover a little administrative cost, whatever. Anyway, we're going to type our equal sign. We want to go back over to the total of the paycheck. That happens to be in E25. So we're going to go, and you can do this one of two ways. I usually just do E25 times 1.5. All right, we have a little bit of a format problem. I don't want this bolded, and I do want it in black font. So let's format the cells. First of all, let's make sure we get currency. Let's put a $ there. The font, we want Arial. I want a 10. For the color, I want to choose black and not automatic. Excel thinks we want to continue in blue. We don't. Let's see what it looks like. There we go. So we have a formula here. Let's drag our formula down. At this point, we want to look at doing employee ID. So temporary employees, you know, we started out with this. Let's do 1001. Let's go down a cell, 1002. We want to continue with this. Let's drag it down. We get our employees are all in sequential order. We've already arranged them in alphabetical order, so we have a valid employee ID number. Let's come in and format these cells here. Let's make this the end of our data. We'll go to border, select a line, and seeing as how we have all of these cells, they're contiguous cells and they're highlighted, this line is going to go all across the ways. There we go. We want to get a total here. I'm going to go ahead and do Control B. That means that that cell is going to be bolded when I get the formula put in. We're going to do equals, sum in open parentheses. We can click here, we can click here, doesn't make any difference. Just click one end or the other and get all of them. Hit enter, we got it. So Excel did a little bit of thinking for us, and most of the time it's correct. However, let's double click this cell we're in right here and let's see what it did. In this case, it went over to the total or the summation of the paychecks, grabbed this number and multiplied it times a 1.5 back charge. If we look up At this one, we did it a little different. We summed the 1.5 totals. We come up with the same number, but I would rather do it with a summation. Remember, either end of the string doesn't make any difference. Drag it all the way down, hit enter. There we go. Do a Control B. We have it bolded. Now then, we want to let whoever's going to review all of this, provide them with what the back charge profit is going to be. And how do we get that? We want to take and subtract this number from this number. We're going to place it here. So before we do, let's look at our format. Let's make sure it's currency. We have a $sign. We're good there. Font, I want to use an Arial Bold 10. Let's go ahead and make it blue so it'll stand out. Border, let's make it the same blue. Let's select this line, and you have some options up here which makes it easier than clicking all four corners. Let's just say outline. There we go. All right, our formula is going to be equals J40, which is right here. We're going to subtract from J40 minus, and we can either enter it or we can come over here and click it. And there's our finished sheet. We're done. Except the Devil Wears Prada lady from Human Resources comes in and she does not like these. She wants all of them to start with a 33 to identify that they're contract and part-time, and she wants them to end with a 2. Really? We can do that. All right, so let's go over here. Let's put 33002. Let's come down one and put 33012. So far, so good. She's got her 3s. She's got her 2s on the end. Let's highlight these. And let me show you 2 ways to do this. One way is with the left click, which I'm going to do now. Does it for us, but it overrides the format. So let's go up here. This is your undo autofill. I'm going to right click, and you see I get a mouse cursor. I don't get the crosshair. Right click with the mouse, drag it down. Now I get a flyout menu. I want to fill without formatting. We still have the cell border. Couple of little tricks. This is stuff that you really should know in the basic module of Excel. And we can help you learn this. We'll work with you. Let's go up here. We're going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to do a Control C. So we've copied all the way across the spreadsheet. I want to come in here, click this, and I'm going to insert copied cells. And then I'm going to delete these 2, bring it up. We have a completed spreadsheet. So how do we get this to PDF? What do we do? First of all, we save it, and mine is already saved in a folder here on my computer. Let's go over to Print. We look at Print Preview. We don't want 2 pages. We want all of this on 1 page. So we change the orientation to landscape. Now we have it on 1 page. Let's go back. We're going to file, save this. We're going to go to page layout. What I'm going to do is to select a print area. We're going to select print area from the page layout menu, drop it down. We're going to set the print area. If we click off of it, you can see some faint lines around the area in which we are going to print. We're going to go back over. We're going to print, but what we're going to do is we're going to print it as an Adobe PDF. Select print. Launches Adobe. I've got two screens here, so we have to drag stuff around. And here's our spreadsheet. You can email it, print 18 or 20 copies and hand them out. And my friends, that's about all there is to it. We can do similar things as what we did with this data. Let's put us a date range over here. All right, I want to format these all as dates. So let's go to our format cells, number, date, and let's choose our standard format. We're done. So let's do 01, 05, and then let's skip 10 days, 15. All right, so we have January the 5th, January the 15th. Let's highlight these two. Grab it with our cursor. And now we have dates that are exactly 10 days apart. That's one of the many, many easy basic tips there are in Excel. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.